if we have him on the line. Jango Thriller.
Good day to you, sir. How are you? Thanks for having me.
You are quite welcome. It's been such a long time. I haven't seen you in years. Maybe the late 80s, early 90s. How are you?
That's the last time you saw me? Wow.
I remember doing I remember you came to a dance I was doing in Brooklyn. I think it was not the Biltmore. You come down close to where Superpower record store was. And there's
Starlight
a big
Ballroom, maybe?
Starlight Ballroom. There was a big glass door.
Yes.
Starlight, that's the last time I remember seeing you. How are you, my friend?
Memories. I give thanks for health and strength and daily food. I am doing very well. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. Now you took some time off from the industry, couple of years now to what? To raise a family, get education. What were you doing
That
in
is
the
correct,
past
sir.
25 years?
Well, for the past 2 decades, as you say, over 2 decades ago, I was still working behind the scenes. I was still working behind the scene, doing a lot of behind the scene work on
Like what?
camp. Like for example, with on the Dennis Brown Memorial Organization. I was
Okay.
one of the primary members on that organization for quite some time. I work with young artists, mentoring them with how to copyright songs and how to protect their
Oh,
materials and
nice.
so forth.
Nice.
And behind the scene, as well as doing a lot of harmony in the recording studios on a lot of artists, materials, and so forth. So I'm always bouncing around the studios and working with other people behind the scene. I stayed away from the limelight, as you said, because of family. Just wanted to make sure these three beautiful souls that we brought into this world, just wanted to make sure that they had an opportunity. And I must say, they finally did what they had to do, got their degrees, and they're moving on and, becoming providers and great contributors in this society that we live in. Yeah.
So when you name the album Rejuvenate, I mean it's amply titled. It's perfectly titled.
I'm sending a message. You should hear the next one. The next one is a serious message. And the next one only has at least 3 tracks to be completed. And the next one should be coming out hopefully before December, before the end of the year. Before the end of the year. I'm sending a message. I left in the height of my career when I was actually one of the main acts nationally here in New York City and across the tri-states and the states for that matter. In the height of my career, I went to Jamaica, spent some time, and came back and decided to work behind the scene and get back into the white collar or blue collar, whatever you want to call it, environment. I call this one Rejuvenate because I have rejuvenated myself. I had to go back down to ground zero to find myself, to get myself back into this place where I need to be, because once you got out of the business, out of the limelight of the crowd for that long, even though I was still in the business, I was behind the scene. Once you remove yourself from the limelight, you lose that thing that keeps you connected with the people when you are in front of them performing for them. So, as I said, I work behind the scenes. So what I've been doing as well, I have been producing. So the late Jassy Ade.
Jassy Ade passed away last year. I remember.
Yeah, passed away. A good friend of mine. So Jassy and I, we were working together. I used Jassy as my mentor as we worked for several years. And
I remember that. Yes, I remember that.
We released several albums.
Yes, I remember that. Yes, so true.
We could name them. We had Carlton Coffee as in some of the members of these compilations. We have Michigan. We have Mikey Jarrett. We had a bunch of the name brands on the albums as well as some young artists. So again, I've been working behind the scenes. So here I am now, ready for the limelight again, ready to take over the world again, ready to claim my right.
Ready to claim your right. Listen, let's go back 1 second back to what you said about Jassy, and I'm sure you will remember when I bring this up. He had a big song called Ghost Catchers or Ghostbuster.
Yes, Ghostbuster.
And we were playing it on, I was playing it on WNWK, and then it got picked up by WBLS. And you remember that? And because of it was a medley of so many different pieces of songs.
That is correct. I
it,
cannot remember the song. I cannot remember the song exactly, but you're right. It
yeah,
was medley of songs.
and after a while, Jassy couldn't provide all the publishing and the writers and all of that to
Well,
be honest, and they stopped playing it. Ghost Catcher, I
I,
think,
I,
was the name of it. With
it was
a
called Ghost Catcher, man. But one of the biggest songs that Jesse released was the song titled Do Not Left It, Do Not Left Your Condom." Remember that
yes,
song?
yes, yes, yes. You know, we were still up to it. In time he took sick, we were still doing some business with him. We were still talking, and as a matter of
Yes.
fact, he decided to record a few tracks himself. Um,
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Mr. Bojangle. I love that
Mr.
one. Mr.
Bojangles,
Bojangle.
yeah, as Jashaka or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Chakaranga or something like that. Something like
Yes, he
that.
did
Yeah.
some Honey, did a song, Honey, I miss you, and I know. And I'm like, Jassy, are you that? He said, yeah, boss. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
God bless
man.
his soul. So you're
God bless
back
him
now,
so
and I
much.
get it, you're back in New York. Did you leave New
I
York?
am. No, I'm still here in New York City. I'm still representing New York to the fullest respect, and yes, I'm still here in New York City just doing my thing.
Still Brooklyn?
Still right here in Brooklyn, New York. Yes, sir.
Nice, 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 nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You guys in Brooklyn, and I have to give it to you and Red Fox and
Preach it
Shaggy,
down,
Screechy Dan. You
Shaggy. Yeah.
really represented the New York sound. The New York
Well,
sound. You know what the number one song now on the chart here at the Foundation Radio Network?
I
Sister
which one is
Carol.
it?
Sister
Sister Carol.
Carol.
Yes, I saw when she entered your chart.
Yes,
That is correct.
Nubian
That's
woman.
right.
So it goes to
Nubian
show.
woman.
Yes, it goes to show that New York has really had some good talented people back then. I
But
think since
Clinton, let's take you back for a second. So
yes,
when you were back there, you saw them. You saw them. You felt them. You
yes,
knew them.
yes,
You knew them. You saw what came out of Brooklyn.
yes.
Brooklyn and New York as a whole, we have that thing.
That thing.
That thing. That
Exactly,
thing.
exactly, exactly.
That thing that keeps everyone at an attention, everyone listening to see what's coming out. Don't forget Shine It. You mentioned New
No,
York. I mean, Shine It. Don't forget Shine It. Because
yeah,
Shine It is
man, I
from New
can't
York as
call
well.
all of them Django, but I'm just
Exactly.
a few names. You have Trevor
Reference.
Sparks.
Oh, General.
I couldn't keep a
Don't
dance.
forget Sluggy. Don't
Slug
forget
it.
Sluggy.
Slug it.
Oi.
No, there's just too many to call all at
Too many
once.
to be called
Yes,
out,
yes,
but
yes.
I get it. I get
But
it. We
but
represent and we represent what?
yes, and you certainly did, and with Philip Smart in the production
Oh,
chair.
the
Philip,
ambassador. I call him the ambassador. We
yeah,
miss him
man.
so. We miss him so dearly. Every time I go to a record studio and somebody will do something that reminds me of Philip, I have to make reference to Philip Smart.
Yeah, yeah.
Have to.
I,
Have
I
to.
and
One of
I
the ambassadors.
and we both know why. Philip was that backbone. He was that person in New York, the main point. You go to Philip for voicing, mixing, editing, everything, everything in
Philip had
music.
the sound.
Yeah,
Philip
he
had
had.
the sound that was coming out of Jamaica.
Yeah, that was
That's
true.
why Shabba, that's why a Super Cat and all the big names would go to Philip Smart when them come to New York. You see
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
Because Philip had that sound.
yeah,
Philip had the sound. That's why Whitty from Music Master would always go to Philip Smart.
yeah.
You
That is
understand?
true.
Yeah,
That
man.
is true. So now you're working on your second album, and
Yes,
you
sir.
you only have 3 tracks to go.
We have 3 tracks to go, and I'm excited about it because this second album was actually started before Rejuvenate.
Ah,
It was
really?
started before Rejuvenate, but my engineer got COVID frightened, and because of COVID, he shut down the studio. And respectfully, we understood that.
Right.
And he just called me back recently and said, Django, I'm ready. Let's finish this album. I've been going over the songs, and let me tell you something, Clinton. I'm not bragging, but this album is really a beautiful album coming out. I'm not going to give you the name of it because Rejuvenate tells you I've
Yeah.
rejuvenated
Oh
myself.
yes.
I'm coming
Oh
out.
yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes.
Yes. Yes,
Someone
sir.
asked me when I started playing your track again, and a lady, it would take a lady to ask these questions.
I'm
Were
trying
you
to
a,
tell her.
were you a fan of the Django? She called him. Were you a fan of? I'm like, that's in our days, Django was the guy. You know what I mean? Like Bruce Lee in
Yes.
those days. How did you
Yes,
come up with
yes.
the name Jango Thriller?
Ah, man, Django came from, well, it's a two-part story.
Okay.
Django came out of Jamaica. Back in Jamaica, there used to be one of those shows on the weekend with, I can't remember the show, but there's a character in the show named Django. And I
Hmm.
guess as a child, a younger person, I used to reflect that individual a lot. So the people in the neighborhood, they would call me Django, right? And back in the days when they used to call me Django, I used to DJ, not sing,
Ah,
DJ.
you used
I
to
look at
DJ.
DJ, I come up a DJ like enough of the foundation artist and everything.
Yeah.
And so when I came to the States now, I got connected to the sound system called Leotone. So you're on Leotone, you had myself, Shelley Thunder, a guy named Colonel Desi. You
Colonel
had Willow
Desi.
Wilson. You had
Willow
Willow
Wilson.
Wilson.
Yes.
And you had I forgot my virgin name. So a few of us were there, you see me I say? And a
Hmm.
few of us were singing on the sound. And as I sang on the sound, Mautamasi, I don't know if you remember that name,
I remember that
Mautamasi.
name. Hmm.
Yeah, Mautamasi say, yo, Django, add the thriller because you're a thriller girl. And then just add the thriller
Ah,
to it. So Mautamasi, my virgin name, Gregory knows, just add the thriller to it. So that from that day, Leotone brand me Django
the
Thriller.
Django Thriller.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
fitting. Very now you're gonna be appearing this Friday night inside the Caribbean Cove.
The Caribbean Cove. Yes, that's over there in Cocoa Beach, I believe, Florida. Yeah.
And that's what I was telling Mad, one of my colleagues that's running the ad, that I don't know of Cocoa, but I do know of Cocoa Beach,
Yeah.
and the flyer that was sent to us just said Cocoa, so we just have to work with it and say, well, it's Cocoa Beach. Some say Cocoa, some say Cocoa Beach, but
I heard Cocoa Beach, but I'm looking at the flyer and it does say yeah, you're right. It only says Cocoa. So
right.
I'm
So
hoping that's not confusing to the audience, to the fans.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, it depends on the person who is dealing with it. Some say Cocoa Beach because they can't find no cocoa on the map. So you're gonna be appearing there this weekend, this Friday night.
On the 14th, which I believe is Friday. That's
Friday
correct.
night, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you now coming out on the road? Are you back on the road? Not just the studio, but is this the first of many appearances?
This is one of the many appearances that I have been doing since the album has released. And prior to the album release, I have been doing a few shows, but nothing major like this one.
Right,
This is
right,
this is going to be one of the major shows
Right.
since the album release. Yeah.
And the album itself, I know it's been released now since, was it early this year or late last year?
Late last year, October of last year, it was released.
Hmm.
And I must say, thanks to you, Clinton Lindsay, and thanks to everyone outside. I just want to say thank you so much, guys, and ladies, gals, boys, and girls. Thank you so much for your support on the album, because the album hasn't taken a wave. Never Too Much has really gone viral,
Nice.
especially on the European market. I was
Nice.
shocked when I saw it on the European market.
Yes.
So I just want to say thanks for that. I was shocked when I heard a Spanish station playing Never Too Much. So I just want to say thank you to everyone for that.
That's the power of the Foundation Radio Network.
Oh my God! You touch the power of the radio network, but the power of the network in general.
Yeah.
Because I was just reading about WVIP, and it brought so much
Oh,
sadness
can
to
you
me.
imagine? Can you imagine?
It brought
Madrid?
so much sadness to me because that station has reached out to millions,
Yes.
of the Caribbean
Yeah.
people, and we don't know what's going to happen once the new owner takes over.
Oh,
So,
they gotta go gospel. That's
No,
why
they're taking. Oh, yeah, yeah.
that's why they bought it. They're not
It's a
gonna.
gospel company that takes
Yeah,
it over. But,
Spanish gospel at least.
oh my
So
God!
they're
I
saying.
mean, we
right
do
now.
have some Spanish gospel in Jamaica. I don't know if we could get a piece of the action in there, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. Yeah,
Hey.
and as you know, Clinton, let's stay on this topic for a second. As you know, this is the second experience for maybe you and I and people of our generation. We have seen this before. Don't forget WLIB. WLIB had the same thing happen to WLIB back in the days. Do you remember that?
Yeah, double N, double K,
WN,
double
WN.
RL. This is the fourth
right.
time, not the second time.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
you see, I'm
fourth
behind
time.
time.
Yeah, they have taken
Fourth
away
time.
a station that was geared to the Caribbean community.
Something that the Caribbean people have built up and then we lost it
Yeah,
after X amount of years later. I hope we learn our lesson moving forward so we could own
I
our
do hope
own.
so, my brethren. I do hope so, cause we need to. It might sound cliche, but we need to get together. It's simple as that. We need to get
And,
together. It
and
might be
that's
the
the sad
hardest
thing.
thing to do, but that's what it's gonna take.
That's the saddest thing, man. We just can't see eye to eye
I
when it comes
can't.
to a corporation and, a corporation of ours.
Yeah,
We
I
just cannot
tried
see eye
that.
to eye.
I tried in the 90s. Actually, I tried
Yep.
in the 80s and in the 90s. And
I remember the 90s.
yeah, you got you to get it done. You need certain players.
Yes, sir.
Like me, I have a name, but I don't have the association with the big rollers. Like say
That's
a
correct.
Gil Bailey had. So
Out.
if you're gonna do something like that, you need to bring in a Gil Bailey, you need to bring in a Ken Williams, because they
Yes,
are
sir.
associated with people that have money.
That's
And
right.
unfortunately,
That's right.
when you invite them to these meetings, they don't see it as relevant. They don't care, and
Mm,
that's that's
mm.
just a sad fact. I can tell you, I've been
Some
involved
people
with it.
don't see some people don't see the
They
picture,
don't
the
see the big
longevity
picture.
picture. They
Yeah,
don't see
they
the big
don't.
picture at all.
And
So it goes by the land, it go by the wayside, and then these companies come in, take over, and manipulate the
and
business.
you know something. The sad part about it, Django,
Yes, sir.
it's other ethnic groups. It's not the big corporate America taking these stations
I
over.
know.
It's
I know.
the Mexican.
I know.
The,
Call them out. Call
yeah.
them out. Don't be afraid, because I know. And they come, they take it over, and some of them even pinch off a piece of reggae and promote it on their station
Hey,
and make
reggae is
millions
it?
from it.
That's reggae is where it's at. So it's just
Yeah.
unfortunate, and until we learn to
Uh,
get together and see the big picture, it just gotta go on. They're gonna find another station in New York, and they all gonna go
okay.
there, build equity in that station that is right now unknown, and they gotta
That's right.
go 5 6 years and build equity, and
Mm-hmm.
again, the station right now gonna work. Right now, the station is worth 1.2 million. Right?
And by the
The,
time they're finished with
by the
it,
time they finish with it, go worth 50 million, and then that gonna
exactly.
be. This is what keeps going on and on. Very
So we should buy
unfortunate.
the station now,
We
buy the
could buy it
station
now.
now at 1.5,
Yeah,
and then build up the equity, and then we own it, and then we could make the calls.
we not. It's
Yeah,
not
we
gonna
need
happen.
our own.
Listen to me,
We need our
brethren.
own.
I tried that with Double N Double K, and it was. Remember, Arthur Luke bought that station for $4 million.
Yes, sir.
1990, and
Yeah, and,
they gave him like 6 years to pay it off. And by the
and
time
but
he was through with the 6 years, he sold a station for
for
one
one
hundred and
exactly,
thirty-five million
exactly. You
dollars.
remember? You remember?
I was there,
Boom.
brethren. I was
Brethren,
there.
you remember?
I was
You see, a lot
there.
of people don't pay attention to behind the scenes. And along the years, over the 2.5 decades that I've been away from the limelight, I have been educating myself
Right,
behind the
right.
scene. Because this music, and I need people to understand this, Clinton, and we need to share this with the public and the young generation, because they are now becoming the leaders of tomorrow. They have to understand the business of the music, divide the limelight, divide the glitter and the glamour, and pay attention to the business.
Yes.
And once they do that, Clinton, they will see the value of reggae music and the value of their art. You understand me?
Yeah.
And how far their art can go.
Yes.
Remember, Bob
Yeah.
Marley said, "This is the music. This music will never die."
Will
And if you look
never.
at it, if you look at reggae music, people, and I'm talking to the people, not just Clinton, if you look at reggae music right now, reggae music have a lot of offspring, cousins, you name them. A lot of
Reggaeton. You remember
offspring,
reggaeton
you name
started
them.
right in Queens there.
Thank you.
Now it's the
Corona
biggest thing
Queen.
out there.
Oh, come on, Clinton. We were there when it was a fetus,
Yeah.
and look at it now. It's all full grown. It's a grandpa, it's a grandparent now.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Yep.
So
Yep.
as long as the people and the generation understand the business of music and learn how to divide the glitter and the glamour, the one, or the little fame and the little perks from the business, and treat it as a business,
As a
then
business.
Clinton, we will own our own radio station,
Le-
and we will become dominant in this field. You understand?
Listen, what I'm hearing is I remember you when you were a boy. Now I'm
Yes,
hearing a
sir. You can say,
well-educated man.
Clinton, you can say that because you remember me. I remember you said to me one day in the Clinton, you said, I think we just come from Philip Smart Street. And you said, boy, Jango, because we leave Philip Smart and came to the radio station. And you said, Jango, I don't understand how you're not boss yet.
That's what I said. Because yes, and I would say yes because I always believe you have that style and that talent.
Yes, sir.
But you didn't
Yes,
tap
sir.
deep in it as I think you should.
Yo.
Because you were very close to my cousin Chris. You remember Chris?
No, Chris and I are still close. We still chit chat.
Nice,
I think
nice,
he's in
nice.
the Carolinas.
Yes.
I think he's in the Carolinas doing his thing on his radio station. Big up to Chris. You know, but we're still communicating now and again.
Nice.
Yeah,
he was always. Sometimes I put a flyer together, and he's in the office, and the first person he would mention, yo, make sure you put on Django upon it. I say, oh yeah. He's always looking out for you.
Yeah, man, Ira Myrie, back in the days.
Oh,
yeah,
don't
man,
mention Ira Myrie. Don't. I would say Ira Myrie. I know who Ira Myrie used to push a lot.
Captain Remo, my general.
Captain Remo and that girl, that Sasha.
Oh, Sasha. Yo, we're going down memory lane.
Yeah, man. Go down. You're one of those artists, like I would talk to Shiny, that really we can go back. Shelly Thunder,
yes,
Sister
sir.
Carol.
Shelly Thunder, my girl. Yeah, my girl.
So, hey, listen, brethren. It's good to have you back on the scene. And,
thank you so much.
And I wish you the best coming back. And this Friday night, inside the Caribbean Cove Restaurant and Lounge, located at 582 West King Street in Cocoa Beach. Admission only $20. So, Jango Thriller.
Yes, sir.
Thank
you for having me. I truly appreciate you. And I wish you nothing but the best, Clinton. Good luck on your journey. You're doing an excellent job. Keep up the good work, sir. Keep up the good work.
All right. Thanks. And we'll talk after the year later.
We sure will. Thank you. Bye-bye.
And Lindsay, a promoter. Bring up the biggest set of artists from Jamaica. Like Super Cat and Mr. Early be the doctor. Only for artists, no for them, me can't remember. Who can remember when them used to keep Jamaica? The kind of show that used to give out no for water. To reggae artists.